And we are live. Welcome, welcome to the Mum-FreedomPreneurs Hangout. And yeah, and we're here live. We're normally it's a Wednesday. We're normally here on a Monday, just so you know, at this exact same time. We're running a little bit late. We're doing different schedules today. It's new for everybody. But we a whole bunch of us were just in Orlando, and we just got back, and some of us were with us live streaming. Today we're going to be talking about some of our takeaways from that, but most importantly, how the power of telling your story and your vision, and we're going to get into that for ourselves, a little bit of our story and vision. So before we get into that, I want to shout out anybody where we, if you're watching this live. I know I can see there's actually a bunch of people that are watching at any moment in time. It's always amazing because we have people literally that watch us from all over the world. There are people watching live, even when we're not, even if they don't even know if we're going to be on live, and watching the replay. But we're actually live right now. Shout out where you are if you happen to be on. And also, and if you're watching in the replay as well, because time and space, our intention is you're with us in spirit. You're with us all the time, anyways. It's like it's all a construct, time and space, really. So shout out where you are at, where you're watching from. I know we have folks here on the panel from all over the place. I'm here in Los Angeles. I'm going to quickly do an introduction of myself, and then we're going to go across the board to everybody here. And then we'll get into our topic. We might have some people that are popping in and out. But please, if you're watching live, and in the replay, at any point in time, if you have a question or thought, anything, because we're going to be stopping and checking in the chat, and we will be coming back after. We will be back to our regular time next Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, 11 p.m. Perth, Australia time, and you can figure it out for the rest of the world. So I'm Valerie Jampolsky, the Abundance Mum Freedompreneur from Abundance Now, and I'm a single mom. I've got twin 5-year-old boys. I usually give my little naked kid alert because I love to run around naked. I think they're in the other room right now. You never know with my guys. I've got myself strategically placed in a corner to sort of handle it when it comes up. At any moment you see them all of a sudden go into get off of camera mode, you know what might be happening. So I'll come back. But I used to I used to be an entertainment attorney, and while I was sitting there pregnant with the twins in my office, very pregnant to the gills, I had a very powerful, okay, sweetie, I'll be there in 1 sec. You want more blueberries? Okay.
No, I don't.
Oh, you want me to type? Okay. Hang on 1 second, guys. See the life of a mompreneur here. I get to do this. I get to be here. He's got his little game, and I need to type the security code so you can get into it. There we go, Booby. There you go, sweetheart. Yeah. All excited. And there you see it in action. I get to do what I do and be home with my kids. This is the thing. I realized while sitting in my office, surrounded, by my books and everything else, very, very pregnant, that if I didn't do something and change what I was doing, there was no way I was going to be able to be home with my kids. And now, to be able to do what I do, I mean, mostly I work around them. I do a couple hangouts during the day, but even then, I'm still here. I'm here with them, and we're here for a short time, an hour. I've got another hangout that we do, and it's about an hour, and otherwise, I'm available to my kids, and also be able to talk about the things that I love, that I absolutely love, like, for me, it's abundance, law of attraction, helping people spiritually remember who you really are, that you can, really live the life that, live our calling, live our life, the life of our dreams, and really help people. So that's me in a nutshell. We're going to dive deep into more of this and to why all of that is important. And you'll notice I just told my story. Okay, we all do at the beginning a little bit, but we're going to be delving a little bit deeper here, and we'll be getting into vision. I'm going to go across the board now. And next up is Bella. Bella, shout out initially also where you are, where you're from.
Hi, I'm Bella, and I'm in London, UK.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about yourself and how many kids you got. And
I'm a mum of 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. Their ages are 18, 12, and 11. And I used to be a physics technician in a school. But due to injury, I can't do that job anymore, thank God. I think I manifested my own injury because I was so unhappy in that job. And now I'm here. working from home.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for anything better, to be honest.
Oh, I got a little one in the background there. Right, and we're going to come across more deep into your story, and I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
Time of the mums. First time with us in the mums is great.
Yeah.
I'm going to go pass it on over to Cherry.
Hey guys, good morning from Utah. I just actually I got back from Orlando. I wasn't able to stay very long for the whole event because I have another mastermind here in Utah. So, but I'm normally I home for me is Berkeley, California. So we are in the same time zone, Val.
No.
But literally, I just had one day to fly back. Hold on a second. Oh, that's my daughter.
There you go.
Yeah, he's trying to wake up his uncle. But anyway, yeah, literally from Orlando, I just had a day to get back to Berkeley, unpack and repack to fly out to Utah early the following day on a Saturday. But this time, I took my family with me. So it's really great what we do, when you have that freedom of time, because you can be in one place, and then another place, you can pretty much live your life the way you want to. And I am really enjoying that. So just a little bit about myself. My background is actually corporate finance. I was working and living in Switzerland. And when I had my daughter about 5 years ago, I decided I want to become a full-time mom. When she was born, I was still actually working, but there was a day that I went to, I came late, went to work, and I was 15 minutes late, and my supervisor had, made a big deal out of that. And I thought to myself, you know what, that's it. It's about time for me to do something else, and I really wanted to be a full-time mom. So just like that, I quit my job and moved to the U.S. And now I'm actually doing financial services. And as I was trying to, find a way to market my business, and that's how I actually got into online marketing. And ever since then, guys, life has been really, really great. Not just the opportunity, but for me, it's more the connection that I've actually built and continue building, as I'm doing this business. So it's really, really awesome, and I feel really lucky to be here. So thank you, Val, for actually giving me this opportunity to be part of this, to be part of the Mumpreneurs. I really love it. Thank you so much.
You are. You're just now here. You're just now here on screen with us. You always are.
Yes, yes, thank you.
I love it. Yeah, we were together in Bali together too. It was so cool.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, isn't it fun that we see each other every 3 months? It's just
I
that
know.
I missed you in Orlando, and the other ladies.
Oh, but you were with us in spirit. What's up, sweet pea? Okay, I'm going to pass it on over to Tamara.
Okay. Hi.
There you are.
I muted myself so I could hear what you all were saying. So I'm Tamara Bogio Upton. It's kind of a mouthful, but you can just call me Tamara. And I'm from Montana, and I live up here in the mountains with my 3 kids. I was nodding my head with you, Belle, because I also have 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. My daughter's 15, my middle son is 14, and my youngest son is 5, and I just dropped him off at the school in the country. And I spent a whole week in Orlando, actually, because I went to Chad Oxted's mastermind down there. And oh my goodness, it was such a life-changing week for me. I was just so happy to be there with the like-minded people that are constantly saying, we believe in you, we love you, we want you to succeed. And that's what I found when I found Empower in general, and I've been in for about a year.
Okay, great, great.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank
And
you.
hang on one second here. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to go check and see in our chat. Let's see where. Oh, what's sweetheart?
You.
Okay, you know what, sweetheart?
You want to watch.
You want me to draw something?
I get that all the time.
I just want to check. Can somebody while we're here, somebody check on our chat and see if anybody's been commenting where they are, where they're at.
Let's see.
Okay, here, give me the pen, sweetie. You want me to draw a U because you want to practice your U. There you go. There's a U. There's a U. Here, you can take the pen. Okay. We homeschool here, so he knows. I give him practice. He practices his letters and stuff and doing everything. So, anything on the page there yet?
I'm not seeing
Yeah, we're
it.
totally off on a completely different time right now. So, and there were a lot of people that were like, Agnes was going to be on with us, and CJ, and I think Lucy, and we're all like kerfuffled. We were supposed to drive, and we had a tech and travel issue going on. And for those of you who say our page temporarily went down, I had to fix the tech issue on that. So if we disappeared for a short time, that's why. Okay, so I want to pull up a quote. Hang on one second here. I'm going to go look something up. I'm going to go and pull up a quote. Okay. All right. I just want to read this to start us off a little bit. So, live your life from your heart. Share from your heart, and your story will touch and heal people's souls, says Melody Beattie. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of this, but it's so powerful to, especially for those of us, you know, we're mumpreneurs, entrepreneurs in general, but, you know, mumpreneurs especially, because we connect heart to heart, and to just really to share our story and to share a vision. And that doesn't even matter what it is that you're a mumpreneur, what it is that you're doing. It's going to help people to resonate. Even big brands are doing this now, where they have people communicate from their story, because people connect to story and to vision, and it helps just anything anywhere in life. So what we're going to be doing here is, and it just. I mean, I've heard people come up to me and come up to Sarita as well. Sarita's in transit. I don't even know where she is. She's floating out there somewhere, but she's in transit. And last we saw, she was in the airport getting a massage. So she's in transit on her way back to Australia, and but the idea that we've heard that there are people that have been watching our Hangouts, because we know all of you there's people watching right now, but you're not saying hi because you're shy or whatever. But people have been watching our Hangouts, and there's folks that even were in a position where they were considering taking their own life, and because of what we've done and shared here in our Hangouts. That they of course are here with us and believing in themselves and realizing who they really are, and that whatever thoughts might have been crossing their minds that would lead them to such a place, or feelings that it's not connected to reality, that's just a story. And the story of that, like for example, same thing. I mean, with me, my first attempt, I was 10 years old. I made several in my 20s, and I came from a very dark place of not realizing my own value and who I really am. But knowing that us sharing our stories has helped people. I mean, there's many different ways, but you just never know. No matter where you are in life, when you share, when you're open with your heart, but there's a difference between. I just want to be just stating something before we get into it. There's a difference between sharing a story that you are where you dig in to the negative feelings on it and re-experience those, because that actually can attract more of it. Whereas going at it from a place of vision as to what you learned from it from the outside, where you came to, what was the transformation that came from it, saying, I was here, right? I was here, but I had this awareness, this aha, this transformation, and now I'm here. Okay, and because that's what can help people, which is very different from just digging up negative stuff and hashing over, well, this bad thing happened, well, you think that bad, look at this bad thing that happened to me, right? Going into all of that, because that actually literally attracts more and it goes into a negative space. Just wanting clarity of the difference between the two. So I'm gonna, I just shared a little bit of mine right now. I mean, again, I did it. I shared my story. But for me, the reason why I do this, and I think this might really help if we're going to dig into vision, and the story will come up within it. But as I was sitting there, and my goodness, Tamara, I love that. You had that sort of a similar thing, and Sherry, I mean, your story is so similar to Rhonda's. It blows my mind. But that I was sitting in the office, you were the one experiencing it. It's hard to leave a six-figure situation, but I knew that I really wanted what I wanted. And sometimes the universe makes things happen, like for Bella, she wanted the heck out of where she was at. She was miserable, right? Next thing you know, she manifests the very thing that makes it possible. Hooray, right? And that's the thing, when you get to talk about that, because you're a powerful manifester. I made everybody else, there's going to be somebody, one of you watching this, something that's going to resonate with you. And same thing, so if you have a story, you've got something, you experience, share it. Because there's someone that's going to be helped by it, and it'll help bring you clarity as well, which is really cool. So for me, it was just that, wanting so badly to be with these little beings I worked so hard to have, right? And wanting to actually be there with them. And it was a powerful, and the realizing that what I was doing, it really was miserable. I was sick all the time at the office. I was making myself sick. Really, I think making myself sick because I hated being there. And I knew that I was in health mode now for the babies. There was no way, I was going to do whatever it took to have those babies. And, of course, I've been pretty much healthy since, and so I made a powerful determination, and this was the thing, there was a shift that happened, and realizing that there was so much more. Maybe you're watching this resonates with you, but there was so much more to me than what I was doing, shuffling those papers around and doing what I was doing, in that office. And that I had so much to give. I had a calling, so to speak. I could just feel it. Feel this thing, and knew that there was, and I actually had a vision when I was a kid. At one point, something happened, and I saw something where I was on a stage inspiring people, a lot of people. And I didn't know. I was 10 years old when this came to me, and I didn't know what it was. Maybe you didn't have that, but you may have had a feeling that somehow there was something important that you were meant to do. Something important that you were meant to do, whatever it was. And I searched for a long time to figure out what the heck that was. But I knew it was like something came to me going, this is it. This is feeding my soul. I'm not happy. And I knew that there was so much more to give. And so I made the determination, and then I let it go. And I just listened to my life as to what actions to take. And I did a bunch of different things. This business didn't even exist back then. And so I was reaching into a lot of different things. And then, boom, 6 months into my maternity leave, studio that I worked at went bankrupt. Laid everybody in my department off. So the universe created what I needed in order for me to be in a position to do what I need to do. So you never know, and if something you're in the middle of, and let's say you make a powerful determination based on your vision of what you want to do, and all of a sudden things seem to turn upside down, it's because the universe is shifting to make it happen. There was a story of the guy that has the house burned down, right? And why is the house burned down? Because they were wanting a better house. House burns down, all of a sudden they got the insurance to pay for it. Sure, you may be able to resonate with that one in terms of what can happen with insurance with people. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of different things. My vision is to really, I see that there's generational effects of what we do, of helping people in the here and now, and then for me, for helping not just my children but other women's children and other people's children, so that they can grow up and make choices of what they do based on what their calling is. Maybe we have people that we connect with in the ripple effect of the pond that'll come up with cures for diseases that will be enlightenment in public office that will be finding ways so that everybody always has clean water and food everywhere, and that ways so that everybody can feel and see their own beauty inside and beautiful works of art. We don't know, or other people that are powerful entrepreneurs and do things way more and reach even more people than we can even fathom in the moment with what we're doing. It's like there's a ripple effect, and that's what I see generationally for me, what I'm about in helping people to really have the ability and to be able to see who they really are, and tap into that, into their calling, and be able to really live from their heart, live from their passions, but most importantly, remember moment to moment to moment that they are this wonderful, beautiful love being, and that we have absolute access to infinite creativity and vision and prosperity right here, and we're just in the moment. We can experience the joy in the moment and move forward moment to moment and just unfold that in our lives. So I know it was a mouthful, but whoops, I'm going to pass it on and mute myself, because guess who's here? Here we go. Bella, you are up.
Am I up? Is it me that's up?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Basically, I was working as a physics technician, and I was doing that job for 8 years, but 6 years in my previous employment, and it just got to a stage where I felt really, it was soul destroying. I wasn't getting any satisfaction from the job. The workload was getting heavier and heavier, and I just felt that I shouldn't be there, and I was so unhappy. It was, people get the Monday morning blues. I had the blues every single day without fail, and I just couldn't shift my mood. And then after sometime last year, I noticed that I started to get really, really bad back pain and arm pain, and I started to have acupressure, and the acupressure would relieve the pain for a couple of days, but then it will come back, and it'll come back worse than it was before, and it got so bad that I had to be signed off sick, and in the end I had to be relieved of my duties because I wasn't able to do it anymore. But the fact of the matter is, where I got the pain was in the two places where I need the most to do the job. So when I look back, even though I was in pain and still am, it got me out of that situation that was making me ill. It made me ill, basically. So here I am now, and I'm much happier. The pain is not as bad, but it's still there. I can live with it. But I'd rather live with that pain than being in a job where, it just didn't serve me any purpose whatsoever. You want to be doing something that you don't really have to call a job. You want to do something that's making you happy. And I know for me, helping other people makes me happy. So definitely, I'm not looked back since I've left. That's it. That's gone now, and I'm just looking forward to what the future holds at the moment. Is Valerie gone?
I'm back. No, I'm back. The other one all of a sudden came too, so it was like between the twins. Okay, I want to quickly just take a quick look into the chat and see if we have any comments in there live. Sherry, do you want to take a look, and then we'll have you do that.
No, I don't see any, Val. But I'm not sure that I'm actually seeing it properly.
You might not be seeing it live. Hang on, let me see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it quick. Hang on 1 second here. La 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 la. I'm gonna refresh the page just for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, not yet, but that's okay. We're on a wacky time. We're on at a wacky time right now. We're like in the middle of the week. We're usually at the beginning of the week. But I just wanted to check. Yeah. See you guys. We do check. We really are like, no, but yeah, next week we will be at our regular time. Okay. Sherry, you are up, and thank you, Bella. Your story is so powerful.
Yeah, thank you so much. So where do I begin? Well, you know, Valerie was just sharing, her story, how just looking back in, in your life, like how everything actually kind of manifested without you even knowing at the time, right? I think it happens to all of us, It's very, I think, impossible to know at the time that something is happening for a reason. In my case, you know, as a little girl, I actually feel I've always felt very different, from the rest of my peer group, from the rest of my classmates. We played together, we hang out together, but I just felt very, very different from them. And I think right from the start, since I was little, I know that I want to be I want to be somewhere else, that I want to take the road less traveled. And that's all I was feeling when I was a little kid. And as I was actually growing up, I actually thought that it's so funny because I do have a bachelor's degree in physical therapy because I thought I wanted to become a doctor. At least that's what I was told and was made to believe that I'm going to be a doctor. But as you grow older, you have this sense of self-awareness, right? And I just know within me that that's not what I want to become. And I think I validated that when I started doing my internship. And that was on my 5th year in college. I realized I cannot do this job. I think literally I felt that I was going to die, you know, every single day of that internship. I just couldn't, but I have to finish it. It was a requirement for me to be able to get my diploma. But literally that's what I was feeling. And so I told to myself, you know what? I'm gonna talk to my parents and say, look, this is not what I want to do. And for them, and I was very lucky because they supported me and they said, okay, just finish it. We just want your diploma and you can do whatever afterwards. But after that was really trying to find myself, and it wasn't really easy because that would mean to say for me, and although my parents are very supportive, I wouldn't really want to take advantage of that. And and that was the most challenging part for me, is to really find my place in the world. Okay. And as Valerie was saying, things just happen. You know, I think if you just really hold on to what your heart's desires are, and really believe, I think some things happen. I can't explain it myself, but me ending up in Switzerland of all places, you know. I mean, coming from the Philippines, we only know of coming to the US. That's the only world that we know, really. Aside from the Philippines is the US. But I don't know how I ended up in Switzerland. Well, the funny thing is, while I was trying to figure out what I want to do next, I enrolled in a German class. I don't know why. I just saw it, I was driving down like one of the main street back home, and I saw there like a Goethe Institute that's teaching German, and I thought, you know what? I have nothing to do anyway after graduation, so I might as well take a class. I went there, I liked the teacher, and she said that she went to Germany to learn German. And I said, oh, I want to go and learn German too in another country. I could have picked Germany, but why did I pick Switzerland? Because when I came to Switzerland, I realized they don't speak German. But you see, now just really looking back, I think, I was actually put there, right? To, I think I needed to grow up. I needed to develop the skills, that I have now to be able to, also manifest the things that I'd like to do later on in life. So just looking back, I just have to be there. I was put there, you know. And I think when finally, when the universe felt that I am ready, I had my baby. We were actually, I actually started late. I was already in my late 30s. When we started, trying for a baby, and it took us 3 years. And I thought I'm not gonna have a baby anymore, actually, but it just happened, and it's great. And I think I love my job. I really do. I think it gave me a lot of opportunity just being in Switzerland and learning how to do what I was doing then. I developed a lot of connection, networking, and all that. But and my supervisor, we get along very well actually. But I don't know what happened somewhere along the way. Maybe it just needs to happen, right? When I became a mom, and it has always been my fervent wish really to be a full-time mom. Okay? So the universe gave that to me. So when that incident happened, I came to work late, 15 minutes, because I was breastfeeding at home. And my supervisor made a big deal out of that. Really, first of all, I came in, he really gave me an attitude. Okay? He still didn't stop. He even told my finance director that same morning when I came. And then he didn't even stop there. He even called for a meeting for the three of us because I was late for 15 minutes and I was breastfeeding my child. Right then and there, I went home for lunch and I told my husband, you know what? I think it's a sign for me to really leave now. I didn't want to. I love my job, but all the signs are there. So the thing is, sometimes, and this is my biggest takeaway from Orlando. Okay, I was, uh, you know, like when there was this mastermind that I went to. Um, we were told that sometimes or most of the time, the only block or the only hindrance, from you getting to where you want to go is yourself. You get in your way. You get in your own way, right? And I thought, oh my God, that is so true. So just going back, to that day, like when my supervisor made a big deal of me coming in late for 15 minutes, if like all the signs are there, right? All the signs. Imagine that morning he was really, forgive my language, he was really pissing me off. I just wanted to come to work and do my job, but he keeps on calling me, and come here, we need to have a meeting. And finally I said, you know what? All the signs are there. I'm not going to take it personally. Anyway, I wanted to become a full-time mom. This is it. The universe is telling me this is it. So imagine if I didn't listen, if I was on my way, all these things wouldn't have happened. I'm still probably there in Switzerland. It's not a bad place, but you see, I know deep in my heart that I have a higher purpose, and I've always believed that there's always a right time and a right place for everything. And sometimes we get so caught up with our everyday routine that we don't hear those things anymore. And I think it's important to be reminded that you know these things happen, some things happen around us, and we've got to believe it. And we're anyway part of nature. We're all part of the universe, and everything is really connected. And so that's why I completely resonate with what Val is actually saying. There are things that happen in our lives, but those are just really a medium, for us to be able to get to the next chapter of our lives. So basically, that's what had happened to me, and that's why I'm here, and I have the privilege to be sharing my story with you and with the rest of the world. And I hope, that someone out there, we're able to touch, because everyone deserves a better life, but only you can give that to yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what I want to share. So thank you so much, Val, for that opportunity.
That's so powerful. But what is that? Oftentimes, the things that are it's us getting in the blocks of the awareness. Like what I think is so cool is I'm listening to your story and you're talking about how you would like in the moment all of a sudden said, I want to learn German and I want to do this and over here, and you allowed your life to lead you to Switzerland and all these different places, which was important for everything of who you are and what's important to you. You know what I mean? That in the moment, if you're watching this, wherever you are, to allow yourself to be open to those little instinctive little moments that say, hey, I think I need to go learn, do this or do that.
I know.
No, really flow with it and know that when things pop up, because when something pops up, you could have, like, you had a choice. I don't need to pop in your face here. You had a choice when that came up. You could have gone into a whole negative story on yourself. Oh, woe is me, right? When that whole crazy situation, they did the little intervention with you and all that stuff, and you're 15 minutes late, and instead of going into a woe is me place, you stepped into your power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you didn't let that block. It didn't become a block for you. It was something that you allowed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so cool. But for people watching, there might be something, an area of your life that might be, where you could be. Oh, was it Bella there? Did I just put it? Bella, are you frozen there? Did you want to come out? Hop out?
No.
Oh, okay. I might have accidentally clicked on you, but it was me. But yeah, anything is possible. I love what you say about that there might be something that's you're just allowing to get in your own way, where you're just basically not allowing what's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Not allowing, opening up to the blessing in the moment that goes on. The blessing, like I was going to try to do something really random, but Sarita's on her way back here, right? And she missed her plane by 3 minutes. She's posted this on Facebook. She missed her plane by 3 minutes. Guess what? She got a massage. Now she's encouraging people that it's kind of like those moment-to-moment decisions of how you react to everything in your life. Everything. There's a reason for everything. The universe is working in our favor. It really, really is. If we just open to it and it can lead us into the next thing. I just think that's so powerful. Anyways, I'm going to move over to Tamra.
Okay, so yeah, my story is a little colorful, and I may not be able to share all of it with you guys. But okay, so let me start here. I've been obsessed with Disney princesses like almost my whole life, and my dream growing up was to go to Disney World and actually work there as a Disney princess.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote a blog post about it, and so like I was fortunate enough to like have been born with certain talents, so like I can sing really well, and I had those gifts developed by taking voice lessons and going through all this musical training and stuff. And I eventually got a degree in musical theater. And as soon as I got my degree, it was like tunnel vision. I knew where I was going. I knew what I wanted to do. I moved down to Orlando and I started the audition process for Disney. And what I didn't know, what I couldn't have known ahead of time, I guess, is that Disney has a requirement in height for their princesses. The Disney princesses have to be 5'8". I'm 5'4". I'm not going to get any taller. So it didn't matter if I sang wonderfully. It didn't matter that I put all that time and training and money into becoming trained as a classical singer. Didn't matter. And so like that moment when you see your lifelong dream just like get shattered like Cinderella's glass slipper right in front of your eyes, it totally sucked. And I did not react very well. Did not behave very princessly in reaction to that news. But as I moved forward, like I eventually got into a really bad situation where like obviously I had a really big blow to my self-esteem, and so I got into some depression, and I was eventually in a situation that was like I had to be rescued. Like it was not good, and it actually came to like a head at the Dolphin, where we were just staying. So going back to that place, for me, after almost 11, 12 years of suffering through that, and it was a situation where like I was in a very extremely abusive relationship and was basically being held captive by my partner. And my family had to come in and get me out of there. And I moved back home to Montana. My daughter was like 3 at the time. And so going back to that specific building for me was a little bit of a challenge over the weekend. I was lucky to have some mentors around me to kind of hold my hand and walk me through that building just to get some closure. Yeah. And I feel like when Brian was on stage at the event, when Brian Couch was talking about letting go of the control, I spend a lot of my time when I go off to these events, like running around trying to make sure that everything is in place for my husband, who has to stay here with the kids while I travel to these events. He does not like it. And this time, I kind of let go of that a little bit and just said, you know, you've got a doctorate degree. Why is it that you can't put your doctorate degree to use in raising our kids and taking care of them, you know? So I kind of took a step back and kind of let him handle it. And when Brian was on stage saying you need to let go of control, I knew it was like a light bulb. I knew exactly what he meant. I've been struggling for an entire year making this business work, going to these events, and the resentment between my husband and I about me being involved in this business is pretty intense. And this whole time I've been struggling and trying to find different ways for him to accept me in this business. And I don't need to. And that was like my aha moment. I don't need to work to make somebody else validate this for me. I know it's real. I know it works. And I know that people are having incredible success with this. And I can have incredible success too. I've been holding myself back this entire time, worrying about what the F somebody else thinks about it. Mm-hmm. And realizing that I needed to stop doing that. Yeah. Was a big deal for me. So I am back here, and I have gone over a lot of the material that we learned in the mastermind, and I have a game plan to get this going for me. So that was my big breakthrough story. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is so powerful, Tamara. It's like, yeah, that's so proud, and that's exactly what Cherry was talking about. That there was something that was holding you back. You were allowing it to hold you back, and it was actually not even connected to reality of what's possible for you. You know, it was interesting. I got back, and I went to, because we're always education, always moving forward. I was actually with Michael Bernard Beckwith last night, literally physically with him at a seminar last night. We arrived back from Orlando, and it was really cool. I was there last night, and you know, one of the things he talks about is this whole idea of where there's the levels of consciousness, right? At the lowest level is when you're focusing on you know, it's called the victimhood area, and in victimhood, always someone else has control. Someone else, your life is a reaction to other people, right? This person's doing this, and that person's doing this, and what is this one, and this one, and this one, and outward looking. What does this one think of me, and what does that one think of me, and what is this going, and this is happening, and da-da-da. And it's always placing our lives as if somehow it's all out there. And instead of having the perspective that really it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, and if they're thinking something negative, that's just them living in their own fear anyways, and they're not them. That's them buying into a reality that's not even real. And the reality is we have absolute brilliance and wisdom and resourcefulness and even prosperity within us right now. And
Mm-hmm.
and we're here to shine our light. That when you walk in a room, what's gonna, what's just gonna happen over here? I'm online. What's someone gonna think of this? And instead of it's like, you know what? And that comes from doing a lot of the stuff that we teach. We teach called the 8 Core Commitments that I'd be changing the name of it. But bottom line, really doing things like you're on a hangout. You're here. Those of you are here. That says something so much powerful about you that you're here, right? There's something about you that knows there's a need inside to like really know, that to remember who you really are, to really live your power, to really get connected into audios and videos and reading every single day, connected into community. We have community. Like, we're here now, but we're chatting all the time in the background. We have community, and we get together at these amazing events. And you can have, no matter what you do, you can have the most amazing systems, and we do have an amazing system. One of the best things, though, and the most important piece of what we have in our system that really does allow you to be empowering to yourself and others is the idea of, and they really talked about this as well on the last day, was one of the things that was talked about.
Excuse me.
Connecting to your heart and trusting your heart and trusting your life, like Cherry trusted her life in that moment, right? When that thing happened, she's like, no, I'm bigger than this. I'm more than this. I'm not meant to be a doctor. She listened to her life. She thought, if I see consistency in your story, Cherry, it's like things come up and you're anybody want to comment on this? My little guy's right here.
I wanted to say, listen to Ori. I think one thing that we all have in common is that we are aware. And you have to be aware to realize that sometimes things happen for a reason. You might, like Cherry was saying, you might not know at that time what that reason is, but the fact that you're aware that whatever you're going through, there's going to be something better at the other end. I think a lot of people are not aware. That's why they don't take action and they end up being unhappy in their current situation. Like Tamara was saying, when she went to the mastermind, when Dave Wood said something about control, she said that like the light bulb came on, she realized that means that she was aware. So then that was the turning point for her. She said, well, hold on a minute, I don't need to have what I'm doing validated by anybody. I've validated this myself, and that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important to be aware, because sometimes it's just the little subtle things around you that happen, and if you miss it, then that's gone. But if from you're aware, it's easier to pick up on what the universe is trying to show you. Because I know what I was going through wasn't in vain, because I'm here now on this webinar.
Yeah.
At the time, even though I was suffering, I knew that there was something that at the end of it that was going to be worth what I was going through at the time.
Absolutely.
I think you have to be quite a strong person to really realize that and to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hop out here because I shared a little bit of my vision. Bella, since you're up, can you share your vision? Share your vision. We're going to go across that. Every time I share a vision, and then if you're watching this, anybody watching this live, please share your vision. Share your vision, and if you're watching this in the replay, please share your vision. And we're going to all be here and we can connect and actually together as we're doing this, we raise each other's visions up into reality. So let's start with you, go across and share your vision.
My vision, my personal vision, is helping other people, definitely. And I remember I had a conversation with you, Valerie, and I said every time I have some downtime or I listen to my Inner Circle audios, I picture myself on stage talking to a mass of people. And that picture is so intense. I can picture myself on stage. I can picture what I'm saying. I can picture what I'm wearing. I even picture who is beside me, the microphone in my hand. So I know that on my journey, somewhere along the line, that's what I'm going to be doing, sharing my vision with other people and helping other people to rediscover themselves. That is what I truly believe. That's what I feel and what I know, because I've seen it in my mind's eye.
I love that, and I've heard so many people that do, because you're pretty new at this. I have so many people that do this, that they when they get up on stage, they're always saying, "I saw this, and now I'm here doing it." You know, it's like it's a cool thing. I'm so excited because I know you're. When the day happens, everybody in that room is it's going to be a powerful experience.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, but I feel it as you're talking about it. I actually feel it as you're talking about it. Cherry, you want to share? I know you got a big one.
Okay. You see, I think I have to share with you first, when I was when I was in Switzerland and I was, uh, doing my corporate job, right? As I told you earlier, you tend to get so preoccupied with whatever you're doing that you actually lose, that whatever vision that you've actually had. Because as I said, as a little girl, I dreamt big. You know, there's a part of me that wanted to do more, than what I see around me. But as you go through life, I realize it's very challenging, and sometimes you are just in that survival mode, you see. But you see, the universe doesn't allow you to actually forget your dreams and the visions that you have. That I can tell you now. If there's one thing I've learned in the past couple of months since I actually joined this business, is that the universe will never allow you to forget that, because you have a purpose. The day you're born, you have a purpose. While you're actually here, you have a purpose. And we tend to forget. We tend to forget. And if you just allow yourself to be open, and if you just allow yourself to, I think, receive that, the gift, from the universe or from the source or wherever, it will not allow you to forget that. It will even help you manifest that. Okay. So what had happened to me recently is I have again, I have remembered my dreams. I have remembered my visions. You see, when I was 25 years old, I've actually set 5 goals for myself. I was at 25 at the time. And I was able to accomplish 4 of them except one. And that one is really, I wanted to give something back to the world, in my own way. I didn't know how, I don't know what, but I just know that's one of the goals that I have in my lifetime that I would like to accomplish. And I have forgotten about that because, especially when I became a mom, I was thinking, oh my God, how am I gonna do that? And I kind of felt guilty too, because I thought, well, I have my daughter now. She has to be my priority. She has to be my greatest why. And that is still the case. But what all this experience taught me in the last couple of months, ever since I joined the business, is that it is possible, you know. So it reminded me that I can actually do this. And my vision really is to is to help, um, other people really achieve that life of freedom. And for me, freedom means a life of, freedom, abundance, and bliss. These 3 things, because if people have those 3 things, then they're happy. And I just actually, in all these years, I realized that what's holding people back from having those 3, because we all deserve that and we all have that.
Yeah.
Okay? There is no discrimination when it comes to that. But you've got to want it. You've got to give it to yourself, right? But people live in fear. Unfortunately, the world and the society that we live in, it instills that fear in us, especially if they try to contain us in a box.
Yeah.
But you have to get out of that box. And, you're the only one who could actually break through. And once you do that, sometimes it only takes. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's actually quite challenging. I mean, to actually leave my corporate job wasn't easy. I think I just want to point that one out. When I handed in my notice and when it was finally, there, I was like, I felt like I was drowning there for a moment, right? Because it provided me security all those years. But at the same time, there is the part of me that's saying that is the right thing to do. And I could have chosen to, to like live in fear and be scared, but I took that giant leap.
Yeah.
And that wasn't easy. And I just really would like to point that one out, for if anyone is actually listening to this, I do not want to discredit that fear.
Yeah.
But you're more powerful than that. That's what I'm saying. You may not feel it at that moment, but once you took the leap, you feel it, and that's where you capitalize on that one. You leverage on that one. As Valerie was saying, you step into your power, right? So that's actually my vision. Really, is to be able to help people, get out of that fear and start living that life of freedom, abundance, and bliss. So that's my vision, and I'm not. Before I used to be ashamed to say that because whenever I talk to someone about it, they look at me like, "Are you kidding me?" But you know what? Not anymore. Not anymore because I know I can do it.
Yeah.
So that's my vision.
That's beautiful, Cherry. That's beautiful. Because it takes a lot to do that. And I know. I mean, I didn't. It came to me. It was like I had many opportunities to leave, even though I wasn't unhappy. And then the universe made it happen. It was like, okay, it doesn't exist anymore. The studio's bankrupt. It's gone. Well, it's not gone. It was like your position is gone, right? So if but I think it's so powerful that you did that, and I just want folks who are watching this, if you're wondering what the heck it is, you don't have to leave your current job in order to get started to do what we do, just so you know. There are a lot of people, one in particular gentleman is Lawrence, and he was working this job, he was an engineer, and he was working full time at it, and he did it part-time. There's a lot of people that do this with kids part-time, and do it in the evenings, do it, whenever, and I mean, it was funny. It was funny because when he was finally laid off, he was laid off like about 6 months into doing this business, and his father was saying, he was like, "Son, you have 2 children here, and you've got one on the way. You need to get a job." He's like, "Dad, I'm making $50,000 a month." Now, income disclaimer, massive, results do vary, etc. There's a link below and all that. But if you happen to be and you're watching this and you're thinking about this, but the thing is it's like, and even then, a year later, he's finally up. He was up on stage, and his father was able to come and see everything going on. Even when he showed him his bank statements, I mean, seriously, sometimes it takes time for people to get that this, what's possible with as an entrepreneur. You're doing the entrepreneurship thing. Family, friends, they may not understand. Even when you're successful, they may not understand for quite some time. So, and that's where it's important to really, doesn't matter what other people think, who you're helping and everything. But Cherry, it's like, that's so powerful what you did. I mean, just like, I didn't do it. The universe had to finally go, "Val, here you go," because I wasn't doing the opportunities. You did it, girl. It was like, and because you had, you're in a position, you're able to do that, I just my hat's off to you on that. Because it's a powerful step, and so I want to come over to Tamara. It's a longer hangout, but I think it's a very important one. We did start a little bit late. We're actually about an hour into where we started, actually, now I think about it. So I want to hear, let's hear your vision. Let's say for this. Let's hear your vision.
Okay, so based on everything that happened to me, when I first started in Empower, and a lot of people were like, "Well, what's your vision? What do you want?" And I honestly didn't even know. I knew I wanted to not be broke all the time. So, and I wanted to have income independent from my husband. I had been working for him basically for free. I mean, he didn't pay me a paycheck for running his business for him for 10 years. And I was like, and the work came to a point where it was not fulfilling for me. I was not happy, and like Cherry said, I knew I was meant for something bigger. And just kind of going through a lot of the mental exercises that they teach in Inner Circle and a few of the other products, I really had to sit down and look at myself and understand what was driving me to this in particular. What was it that was pulling me forward, and what my why was. And you know, they say that you should have a why that makes you cry, and for me it was looking at my daughter and my two sons and showing them, you know, what my behavior, what my actions were showing them now. What I was showing them was that, yeah, it's okay to be paid nothing. It's okay to go on through your life and just say, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, whatever you want, and not have any worth on yourself. That was not the message I wanted to give them. And I knew that if I was going to send them into the world with that knowledge, they were not going to be happy. And the people they were with were not going to be happy. So I felt like I owed it, especially to my little girl, to show her, you know, you don't need to rely on somebody else to do what you want. You can do whatever you want and use your own knowledge and your own experience and your own power to do what it is that's going to make you happy. And I wanted to show my sons that whatever woman they end up with, that they're not just there to be another mom. They're not there to pick up after you and clean up after you and do all the stuff that you say. But that was what I was showing them then. And now, you know, I've been in this for a year, and I've changed, and they saw how my changes have kind of irritated their dad a little bit, where it's, but he's also changing too. He's starting to come around to where, you know, he respects my time when I'm on my computer doing hangouts like this, or when I'm doing a training session with my mentors. He knows that it's not time to send me a text saying, hey, can you come to the bedroom? Or, you know, and the kids know that when I've got this on and I'm doing this with my computer, Mama's busy. Find something else to do. But I'm really good about scheduling my time to where I can give them the time that they need. And also, you know, I do most of my computer work when they're not home, because I quit working for my husband. So I get to stay home, and that's the reward that I get.
Yeah.
Is to be able to put everything that I've got into this business and make it work, and show my kids that I can do what I want, and I'm not a servant. I'm a powerful woman. Damn it. So don't listen to me. Yeah. So my vision is to show them that this is how it should be. This is how they're going to be able to have happy, healthy relationships. And I also want to be able to show other women that no matter what situation they're in, no matter how awful it is, if I can get out of it at the low point that I was, then they can get out of it too, and there's hope at the end.
I love it. I love it. And generationally, what that's going to do for your kids, and everybody else's kids and kids and kids and kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ripple effect that you're starting right here, right now. It's a ripple effect that you're starting right here, which is so powerful. I'm all about the generational thing. It's like I already see it. It's done for you. I see it's being done generationally and across, because there is power. Since we're online, that's the cool thing. Since we're online, it's not just happening in your life and in your world, and even in the people that you know work with you. It happens. It just, because of what we do, is it ripples. There's so many. Like I said, there are people watching us. There are people watching us, and there are people watching the replay. I know because they come up to me. I see them and they communicate with me. And it's like, when they finally, it's like a little shy or whatever, but they come up and it's like, yeah, what you do reaches, and it's powerful. What we do, it's powerful. And anything in your life, even a hug, a smile, all that stuff. There's such a ripple effect of everything that we do. Everything that we do. So, quick, I don't know if, let's see, Sherry, do you want to take a look and see if we have any other comments? Anybody else have any other comments that we want? Thoughts, additions, anything? And I know we have a lot of regulars that often come on, but they might be commenting in the chat as well. Eventually, some of them are in transit, and we are at a different time, so everybody's scheduled for a different time to do this. But let's see, anything, Sherry?
No, I'm not seeing anything, Val.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, all right. With that, I want to let everybody know. Share your vision, share your story. If you're watching this and this is your first time coming across this, or you're watching this and going, you know what, this just sort of something is resonating with you, and you want to connect with what is it that we're really doing. I mean, and the system, the community that we have. Check on that below. We'll see you on the other side with that. And message us on Facebook. Bella, say your last name because I know you don't have your lower third of that.
Dennis, Dennis.
Bella Dennis in the UK. Almost the rest of us, you can see our names here at the bottom, and whoever brought you here, obviously, and we'll see you all next week at our regular time, which is Mondays, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and what is that, 11 p.m. Perth, and what is it in the UK? When we at 8 a.m., what time is that in the UK, Bella?
Well, it's past 4 here now in the afternoon.
Well, when we started, it was 8 a.m. is what time is that? 8, 9, 11, 12, 1, 2,
That would have been about 3:30.
Yeah.
About 3.
Yeah.
3 p.m. 3 p.m. Europe. 3 p.m. in Europe. There you go. Spanning the globe here. Spanning the globe. So, big hugs to you all. Remember who you really are. Anything is possible, and we will see you all next week.